All right, we're here on OTB Sports today with thanks to the all-electric Mini. The all-electric Mini is every bit the iconic Mini, and it is powered for the roads of tomorrow. I've got myself a cracking day lined up. I'm going to meet up with my old pal, the legendary Dublin footballer Paddy Andrews. Going to have a good chat about his career, and we're also going to indulge ourselves and play a little bit of golf. Well.
Good morning. Welcome to the north side.
My first time ever at St. Bridget's. Where's the Paddy Andrews statue? Show me the beautiful St. Bridget's.
Where the magic happens.
I can see why Dublin are so dominant with these sort of resources around the place. So what's your first memory of coming up here?
I was late enough starting. I played soccer really underage until I only started playing GA when I was 11.
What?
Yeah. I played a bit in primary school, but I hadn't joined. I played with the local soccer club here, Castleknock Celtic, and then my brother Patter obviously had played with Bridget's for a number of years and was kind of breaking into the Dublin team, senior team. That kind of perked my interest in it, really.
Well, surely everyone around Bridget's is looking at the younger brother who's clearly got a sporting talent, saying, "Get him up here."
But it wasn't really like I didn't really watch much GAA. I was soccer mad, and then like I say, Patter kind of created that interest, a bit of spark, I suppose, seeing someone in your family playing in Croke Park and things like that. So that was it.
Right.
A couple of his teammates and stuff were coaches of the underage teams in Bridget, so they said, "Look, you should come up and play and see what you do, or see how you get on." And that was it. So I came up and played with Cormac O'Sullivan was our coach. His Kerry family, Kerry blood, and he was our coach for the first 5 or 6 years. And I loved it straight away, I have to say. I did. Just the atmosphere around the club was special. We had a great team as well, and that was it. I started playing under 12, under 13, and then Féile was probably the biggest thing.
So when your brother is at that stage, when Patter's getting in with the dubs and you're the young guy around Bridget's, does it make you a little bit cocky?
I was a little terror.
Were you?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. A little bit of that as well, but like I say, it was an odd situation growing up because we had a brilliant underage team. We didn't lose a match for about 4 years.
Right.
Yeah, we quite a lot of bigger guys, which is so important at underage.
So when the Dubs didn't lose a game for about 7 years, you were like, lads, I'm used to all this.
Yeah, right from the very beginning.
I'm sure Patter's incredibly proud of what you achieved with Dublin and all the All-Ireland titles. Do you ever chat about the fact that he was there, he probably had the same dedication, like there's a quirk of timing with everything that your mother's at home with the 7 All-Ireland medals that you have, and Patter, what do you got for me now?
He never goes into the sitting room. Yeah. No, I can't really.
Timing is everything in sport.
Yeah, no, look, he was very supportive of it, and you're right, it's just definitely the same dedication and things like that. That's playing for Dublin or playing at any inter-county level. We spoke about it before. It's a life choice, really. It's an incredible honour. It does, absolutely. Look, it takes up a lot of your time, but that's what you're passionate about. So it's an amazing opportunity as well. And just for me, and I think all of us in our team, we realise how kind of fortunate we were. We'd some iconic players that were there, guys like Stephen Cluxton, Paul Flynn, Bernard Brogan. Then we had these younger guys coming through as well, nearly like generational talents. I think that famous, the 2013 or 14 under-21 team, with Paul Mannion, Brian Fenton, Kieran Kilkenny, Jack McCaffrey, all coming through in one group. So, and they were supplementing the guys that were already there. So it was nearly a perfect storm of players just coming at the right time. And then we had Jim as the coach, who, in terms of a coach to kind of manage that kind of expectations, manage egos, manage everything there, and just make sure there was just ultimate focus. He was probably the perfect coach for that group as well, and all of that combined led to that success. But that was just a timing thing. We realised how lucky we were. You've seen guys like Kieran Whelan as an infamous example, who was such an iconic Dublin player for years. Patter was part of that team, and they worked every bit as hard as us, but it probably didn't happen for them at the time. There were some brilliant teams they were competing against as well. So that's just sport, I suppose, isn't it, really? Oh, lovely.
I know.
Very nice.
I know. As a Dublin footballer, you have everything, all the resources at your disposal, and that the Dublin team bus had heated seats.
Oh,
so
you name it, we had it.
Especially for you.
I don't get in if there's no
seats are ready.
seats, Nathan.
Wait, now I just want to play my regular listening. My favourite episode, the one where Mayo beat Dublin. The glorious one. I don't listen to the Toronto.
I've never listened to this back.
What?
Believe it or not.
Well, have I got news for you, Paddy?
I'd kind of blocked that bit out.
You blocked out the bit where Mayo won?
You don't want to put on the All-Ireland final?
No, I can't remember what happened there.
No way for the
I'm
semi.
refusing to acknowledge what happened there. The heated seats are an added bonus on a cold winter's morning.
This thing doesn't make a sound, doesn't it?
Were you superstitious in any way? Had you a routine, a Croke Park routine? Because remember, you never played a game outside of Croke Park, so your home stadium.
I wouldn't have been overly superstitious now. You kind of just get into nearly subconscious habits where you sit on the bus. Everyone kind of did that without even saying. You just go and sit in the same place. You'd kind of, the way we do it as well, in terms of where you sit in the dressing room, and again, I think most teams probably do this now as well. The jerseys, it's by position. So you'd always would have been sitting beside, say, Bernard Brogan or Paul Mannion or Dean Rock, and it's actually good in a way. I remember there was a couple of years we were all in the full forward line, and we'd all be pretty similar in terms of being pretty chilled out and things like that. The backs were usually pretty hyped up.
Who was the most wired?
James McCarthy would have been not wired, but very focused. He would have his Stephen Cluxton, obviously, Johnny Cooper. These guys would have very set, focused. You'd be a little fist bump and that'd be it, and you leave them off and do their thing. And then you'd have guys like Michael Darvacali or something who's just kind of all rules were out the window. He just bounced between everyone, high-fiving lads, and kind of looking at what's this Egypt coming doing.
We'll see if that Paddy Andrews competitive edge is still there, will we?
Out in the
little bit of golf.
I'm definitely not as competitive with the golf, no.
Time to get one back from Mayo. Time to get one back from Mayo.
Right.
Do you miss that competitive buzz?
No.
No?
No.
Like, there's no part of you think, I'm never going to be in Croke Park again, kicking a point, the noise, the adulation.
There's, like, I'd love to play in Croke Park again in a full house, obviously, because that's just an incredible experience to get, and not everyone gets that. But I did it. I did it for long enough, and it was. You have to understand, like, it's a sports career. They don't go on forever, and what I was fortunate to be able to fit in over the course of 12 or 13 years with Dublin. Like we're only talking, my brother played for 8 or 9 years and didn't get to experience that, and it wasn't for lack of effort or sacrifice or dedication. I understand how lucky I was to do it, but I've other things going on now, and life kind of goes on.
All right, let's see the Paddy Andrews
right.
swing.
Please God, hit this well.
Six clubs left in the bag from dumping them all around Butchelstown.
I have a putter, a driver, and about 3 irons left. Yeah, so I'm in between clubs at the
We should have gone for mini golf. We're not done yet.
Big slider, this. It was all going so well. It was going too well, Nate. Too well.
That's Killian O'Connor hitting the post
yeah,
there.
That's a tough one to take. We'll give you that one, Nathan. That's the hardest bit, isn't it, with golf? You can be brutal and you can hit it well, like, but trying to score around the greens, chipping a putt.
The mental side of the game I struggle with.
Did you not talk to any psychologists or anything?
No, is there anyone you can recommend?
Loads of people.
Did you talk to many psychologists?
I did. Whether they got through or not, I don't know. I definitely talked to them, but yeah.
If you're playing golf and you're playing golf with a great golfer, you'll always watch what they're doing and learn. If you're with
100%.
a Dean Rock and maybe the finest kicker in the game, are you talking to him about your technique?
That was a big part, I feel, of our success, that we were pretty open with each other. One, it was kind of just the relationships we had. We kind of, everyone got on, which was quite rare. You know, there's 35 guys in a team. It's rare that nearly everyone would get along together, so we were pretty open about it. And bear in mind, it was so competitive as well. Like I'm nearly competing in a way against Dean Rock or Kevin McMenamin or Owen O'Gara for a place in the team. Like. But we would still want each other to get better and challenge each other, and like, what did you think of that? Or you were doing this, some guy is shooting the lights out, and kind of, what are you doing differently? Like, and we would have had those conversations, definitely. That was a real strength of the group, I feel, that we were constantly pushing each other to get better. And look, it's not natural. I, in my younger days, wouldn't have looked back on shots I would have missed and stuff like that. That's maybe inexperience, or maybe it's, maybe in a way that's a better thing. You're just kind of more relaxed.
Well, you need a balance as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've kicked 4 points and you've kicked 2 wides, you don't want to be hitting down on yourself. You got to enjoy the good moments.
Maybe I was doing it wrong, but
like me on that first hole. All I'm thinking about is the missed putts. I'm not thinking about that drive.
I'm thinking about that drive. I can't wait to see the next one. But
I'm up, am I?
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll give you that one. Definitely not natural, but it got so analytical towards the end, and driven by the coaches. They kind of demanded that, but also by the players as well. And if you're not playing, like again, like towards the end, like 18 was the first. I was dropped after the Leinster final. I kind of played the whole time, and then was dropped. And then you're thinking about it all the time.
Right.
You're like, what am I doing? Like, even training sessions, you're looking back. We used to videotape training sessions. That's where the level it got to. Like, and you're reviewing drills and training. What did I do wrong there? What did I do right? And it can get on top of you as well. Like, but that's the analysis part of it. One, it was a massive strength for us because we were so prepared for games, for opponents. We knew our own game so well that no matter what kind of happened, or like I say, we're not playing well against Mayo, there was no panic. We were okay.
Well, it looked to give you a level of comfort, because people would always talk about Dublin and the scoring zone, and how you rarely, if ever, and in fact last season was sort of seen as a sign of a breakdown, that there were pot shots been taken. But as a player, when you have such talent, and all of those up and forwards have incredible talent and the ability to pull a Paul Mannion out on the sideline and kick one in, to actually have the discipline to wait for the moment all the time must be an incredibly difficult thing.
Totally, for a lot of guys, unnatural. Like, if you watch the guys playing with their clubs in the club championship, it's such a different environment. They're kind of the main players, and guys are shooting from everywhere then. But with Dublin, one, it was so clear that this is what is expected, this is what we're trying to do. So there was no ambiguity there. There was no, like, I'll take 3 or 4 shots, and then in the review the following evening you're going, oh, well, look, I didn't know, I thought they were on. It's so clear that you're not meant to do that. But also, if you did, you just wouldn't play. That was the big, massive benefit for us through that whole period, was the depth of players we had. That if you didn't do it, and no one was indispensable. If whether it was Burno at his peak, or Con now, or like say Paul Mannion or Dino had big seasons where they were the #1 guys, it didn't matter. If you did that, it was like questions were being asked by everyone, by the players. We would challenge each other, by the coaches definitely, and ultimately you just, if you don't do it, you're not going to play, because there's 7 guys on the bench there who are every bit as good. Like, I'm looking over my shoulder and there's Cormac Costello and Kevin Macko. I'm looking, like, Jesus, right? I need to be on my game here, or you're gone. Like, and that was a huge part of the success we had. That, because it's not natural to play like that, particularly for forwards. Everyone wants to shoot, everyone wants to score.
You like to show off.
Yeah, they're egomaniacs, all of them. But it worked for us on the pitch, and it was so clear that if we didn't do it, if it wasn't to benefit the team, you were going to pay the price for it. You know, so, and not every team can do that. Every coach wants their team to play like that. Everyone can talk about doing that, but if there's not the guys pushing the superstar forwards, it's very hard to implement it. You know what I mean? So that was a massive plus for us, those guys, you know.
that Mayo-Dublin rivalry is probably the greatest since the Dublin-Kerry rivalry, and you look now and the friendships that are there between the Dublin and Kerry players of the 70s and 80s. Do you think that'll be the Mayo and Dublin players? Because I do know that, you know, when you'd beaten Coppers after an All-Ireland final, there wouldn't be a thanks for the battle, lads.
No, there wasn't.
You weren't exactly best mates.
We weren't. No, we weren't. You don't know. You'd like to think so, because like you do, you see that, like the Dublin-Kerry thing kind of caught the imagination of everyone around the country, and we would, like that 70s team in Dublin, they're revered, like even by us and younger guys who weren't alive seeing the games. You just know if you play with Dublin GAA, there's a legacy there that you're playing to, and those guys were the start of it, you know. And that rivalry with Kerry kind of reinvented the GAA as a whole, not just in Dublin. So, and you hear about their stories and, like I say, their friendships, and there's great golf in Kerry as well. Like, so the Dubs are always keen to go down and play a few rounds. Like, so, and with us with Mayo, yeah, for like I say, a decade. Yeah. That was it, and it was full on. Like it's no secret the two teams didn't get on, which probably added to everything there, but that was to be expected with what was at stake. I'd like to think there probably would be, because ultimately everything that's gone on the pitch, both sets of players are just trying to achieve their dream. You know, they'll do anything to try and win that All-Ireland, so that inevitably creates that tension. But now that I've stepped away from it, and even doing the stuff with Andy in the last year, like,
he's not as bad as you thought he was.
No, definitely not. Definitely not, because we didn't like Andy.
Dubs reunion started yet?
My wedding was probably the first proper one with COVID and everything. It was the first time I'd say nearly all of us were back in the mix together, and with Jim and everything. It was class. It was just good to catch up with everyone, like, so.
And does everyone remember the decade the same way?
Well, some of the guys are still playing, so it's gas when you finish and the guys are still playing. There's definitely a divide.
You're letting loose.
Yeah, exactly. They're still in that space, like, so. But no, that's the big plus. We hope that over the next couple of years, as nearly we all kind of finish up and the next generation comes through, that you'll be able to catch up, because it was special. It was special times, like I say, massive part of all of our lives.
There can't be many days where you're at work or you're around here that somebody doesn't mention.
Yeah,
what you achieved,
genuinely.
What it meant to them.
With my job as well, like a kind of financial advisor, financial planner around Dublin as well. So you do meet people all over the city and stuff, and it does come up. But it's something to be very proud of, I suppose. And now that you're finished, you can kind of chat about it. When you're in it and you're playing, you'd be very like, thanks a million, but move off topic as soon as possible. Whereas now you can kind of just relax and have a chat about it, and it's something to be proud of, being part of that group. So hopefully over the next couple of years we get to relax and enjoy it. We don't have to be robots anymore, as you say.
No, we're going to be. Let's both of us be down to single digit handicap.
Well, that's definitely a target, maybe.
All right.